guys, I'm going to go over slide number 8 from today's Desmos activity. In this slide, we have 3 transformations we need to perform to the purple triangle. So our first transformation is a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise. So if you remember, the rule for 90 degrees clockwise says that you take every coordinate, you switch x and y, and you make the x negative. Okay, so if I start with my first coordinate, 5, 5, I'm going to switch them and then make the x coordinate negative. Okay, switch 3, 4, and make my x coordinate negative. All right, switch 2, 7, and change the sign of the 2, and then switch 5, 5, change the sign of the 5. So here are my new coordinates. I'm going to plot those in the coordinate plane. So over 5, down 5. Over 3, down 4. Over 7, down 2. And 5, 5. So here's my new triangle. This is my first transformation. This was a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise. So if you look at the purple triangle, it was turned 90 degrees clockwise into the 4th quadrant. All right, my next transformation is to take my green triangle and now reflect it over the y-axis. So a reflection over the y-axis, we're going to change the x-coordinate to negative and keep the y-coordinate the exact same. So this is my rule that I'm going to apply to my green coordinates. So my first coordinate, 5, negative 5, is going to become negative 5, negative 5. My second coordinate is going to become negative 3, negative 4, negative 7, negative 2, negative 5, negative 5. So notice I kept all the y coordinates the same. All I did was I changed each of the x coordinates to be negative. So if I plot this in my coordinate plane, I have, all right, negative 5, negative 5, negative 3, negative 4, negative 7, negative 2. Okay, so a reflection over the y-axis. My green triangle looks like it just flipped over onto my yellow triangle. So if I was to fold that in half across the y-axis, the green triangle would line up with the yellow one. All right, last transformation. I want to dilate my triangle by a scale factor of 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to take each coordinate, my x and y, and I'm going to multiply it by half. So 1/2 x and 1/2 y. Okay, so it's going to give me some decimals. That's okay. So negative 5 times 1/2 is going to give me negative 2.5 and negative 2.5. This is going to become negative 1.5 and negative 2. All right, negative 7 divided by 2 gives me negative 3.5 and negative 1. And then my last coordinate is the same as my first one, negative 2.5, negative 2.5. All right, so Desmos graphs this nicely. However, I'm going to have to do my best to graph these decimals. So when I do this, I'm going to go over 2.5 and then down 2.5. So about right here in the middle. Okay, so my first coordinate. My next coordinate is at negative 1.5, negative 2. Okay, and my last coordinate is at negative 3.5, negative 1. Okay, so here's my triangle. Notice that it got smaller. I dilated it by a scale factor of 1/2. So your final answer would be these coordinates here in red. That's the table I'm looking for in Desmos. Okay, and then Desmos will go ahead and graph that triangle nicely for you in the coordinate plane.